President Muhammadu Buhari recently inaugurated the 2019 to 2023 session of the National Economic Council. The council is chaired by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and includes governors of the 36 states. The president urged the council to pay special attention to security, education, agriculture and health, and urged state governors to find ways of increasing their state's internal revenue. It is in this light that we would look at the importance of housing to the Nigerian economy. Housing is among the important measures of the state of an economy. The housing sector is the bedrock of the economy of most developed nations, an important tool for stimulating growth. However, the housing and construction sector in Nigeria accounts for only about 3% of the country's GDP. This will be our focus on the program today, as we'll have an expert's view on it. My name is Nomso Thelma. Thanks for joining us again. On our lineup today, we have news on the inaugural Female Artisan Workshop organized by the Association of Professional Women Builders of Nigeria and news on the Financial System Strategy 2020 Quarterly Mortgage Markets Forum. We also have information on the 13th Abuja International Housing Show, which is just around the corner. Do stay tuned for the news updates in the housing sector. I'll be right back.
Is now set for the 13th edition of Africa's biggest expo, Abuja International Housing Show, scheduled to take place from 23rd to 26th of July. The organizing firm Fesadeb Communications Limited said expectations for this year's edition are very high, as over 20,000 participants have confirmed participation. Also, the biggest platform for product exhibition, over 400 local and international exhibitors are expected to showcase their latest products and innovations to their clients and buyers who are ever attracted by the incomparable cheap bargains available at the show. According to the firm, participants will cut across at least 15 countries, including USA, UK, South Africa, India, China, among others, and there will also be a high-level delegation of international diplomats, foreign ministers of works and housing, including Ghana's Samuel Atta Akia. A professional in the built environment, James Anifowose, says the major bane of development in Lagos State remains the failure of government to enforce town planning laws. Anifowose, who is a resident of Lekki, said most of the problems in the state, ranging from flooding to building collapse and traffic congestion, are a result of lack of proper planning. Using Lekki Phase 1 and Magodo Government Reserved Area as examples, he added that there have been deliberate abuse of master plan by both the government and residents without any consideration for the consequences. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari and his immediate past Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, have been dealt serious knocks for the power sector failures, also for housing and road infrastructure deficits, despite budgetary capital for projects in the last 5 years exceeding 3 trillion naira. Experts who have expressed worry over the nation's rising debt profile, which currently stands at over 24 trillion naira, over 19 million people living in abject poverty, rising unemployment figure, and the rate of inflation, which has increased to 11.37% last month, maintain that the failing power sector, power road network and housing challenges are the key factors that have worsened the standard of living Nigerians and the country's dismal economic performance. And finally, the Architects Registration Council of Nigeria, ACON, has urged the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State, to reposition and boost the study of architecture. ACON President Oladipo Ajayi, who led the council members to the university, said it has been observed that the profession of architecture is in need of urgent intervention. Ajayi also requested that the university authority must do everything possible to ensure quick upgrade of the Department of Architecture of the institution into faculty status.
That was news updates. For more, you can visit our website on www.housingnews.org.ng. Now, former Minister of Finance, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, said sometime in 2014 that the housing sector can serve as an important contributor to economic growth as it has a tremendous multiplier effect on the broader economy. She also said that the sector can support job creation and economic inclusion. The question is, how well has the housing sector been put to use to develop the nation's economy? Let's hear more from this report.
Housing is the most effective sector of the economy of most developed nations, also an important tool for stimulating growth. Housing construction indices are some of the most common measures used by analysts to gauge economic trends in Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) countries. In more advanced countries like the United States of America, Britain, and Canada, the sector contributes between 30 to 70% of their gross domestic product (GDP). Investment in the housing accounts for 15% to 35% of aggregate investments worldwide, and the sector employs approximately 10% of labor force worldwide. However, Nigeria has an extremely low ratio of credit to GDP, and of the little credit provided by banks, only a fraction of it is for mortgages, although the size of the nation's economy, mortgage debt to GDP is only about 0.5%. Speaking with Housing Development on the impact of housing development on the subject matter, former Minister of Sport, Chairman of Godia Mayete Nigeria Limited, an estate development organization, Honorable Bala Kaoje, says housing is the most important sector of the economy to the growth of GDP.
Apart from housing, I have not seen any other industry that can actually generate the jobs that will more or less end the issues of unemployment in the country other than housing.
He also stated that housing, economy, and social development are interrelated and can't do without the other.
One is the engine room that starts it, that is government, and then provision of housing. If government starts provision of housing, they can see the impact there and then, because smiling faces will be all over the streets of our towns, because people have found ways to earn a living.
The expert urges the president and his new administration to make efforts to finance the sector as to stay out of recession. He also suggests that the government should give top priority to housing in order to contribute to economic growth.
I think housing is a sector that the government shouldn't toil with. And that's why we kept advising the government of President Muhammadu Buhari to declare emergency on housing development in this country, so that the gap people are talking about should be reduced to the barest minimum.
Home ownership is a measure of household wealth and GDP. It is, however, accepted that the standard of housing in a nation indexes its effective economic development, standard of living, and its height of civilization. Therefore, the housing sector has a tremendous impact on job creation, employment, social-political stability, effective economic growth, and development of societies.
It is time for the Nigeria Housing and Construction Awards 2019, where the achievements of industry experts, dealers, stakeholders, and captains of industries are celebrated. It is that time of the year where you have a chance to nominate your choice for the various categories. Among the 35 award categories are Affordable Housing Project of the Year, Housing Finance Person of the Year, Housing Person of the Year, CEO of Real Estate Company of the Year, Mortgage Bank of the Year, Best Residential Real Estate Developer in Sustainable Smart Development, Housing Reporter of the Year, President of Professional Bodies of the Year, Housing Developer of the Year, and others. Who does a cap fit? Who deserves the honor? To pick the individual or organization of your choice, you can visit www.nigeriahousing-constructionawards.com to register and vote for your choice. Nigeria Housing Awards, celebrating excellence in the housing and construction industry. Well, we'll Welcome back. Still talking about housing and the economy, the Financial System Strategy FSS 2020 held its quarterly mortgage market forum on 19th June, and it brought together major stakeholders to drive housing ownership, increase mortgage, as well as the contribution of housing and mortgage to the GDP of the country's economy.
When we talk about knowledge gap, it is not only FSS.
Financial System Strategy FSS 2020 held its quarterly mortgage market forum on 19th June at FSS 2020 Secretariat CBN Annex Office, Abuja. The forum, which is an assembly of mortgage and housing experts under the chairperson of Director OFISD CBN Tokumbo Martins, brought together major stakeholders to drive housing ownership, increase mortgage, as well as the contribution of housing and mortgage to the GDP of the country's economy, with the second quarter theme tagged Integrating the Housing Ecosystem Using the Housing Market System, HMS. Speaking at the event, the head National Housing Finance Program NHFP Central Bank of Nigeria, Adedeji Adeshimoye, says the aim of the forum is to use the housing sector to reduce housing deficit for Nigerians while ensuring that the mortgage market takes its position in the growth of the economy.
Today's forum, we are here to bring about the solution to our challenge of having enough liquidity in the system to finance home ownership. Also from our friends who are in the real estate sector, we are coordinating with them so that they will do what we call demand-based supply. So they will be able to create a home that young people like you can be able to key into.
Also speaking at the forum, the President Mortgage Bank Association of Nigeria, Adeni Akinlusi, says the impact of housing market system HMS to the provision of housing is moving the market to securitization.
We've taken decisions today to see how we can engage the Governors Forum. Now that the elections are over, we need to engage them to see how we can drive this market. Key one is titling, and of course the issue of electronic mortgage asset registry, so that we can move the market into securitization, which is where we should be. With securitization, it will open up funding, and a lot of investment capital will come in for the country to unlock the benefits and the potentials of the housing market.
The quarterly forum was able to come to a resolution in reviewing the electronic market as a registry, also having a governors forum on the issue of titling, which affects housing market system building blockchain. Financial System Strategy 2020 has also addressed the different initiatives where people can key into and be able to afford home ownership.
One of the most prominent features of your house is your roof. Your roof will tell how old your building is. At Plus World, we pride ourselves in having the expertise and products to bring your roof back to life. While other roofing companies suggest removing the roof, we restore the roof with warranty assurance. Let Plus World Roofing recoat your old and fading roofs and make your roofs brand new. Our products are eco-friendly and completely harmless to human and the environment. We offer services that will sustain your roof's integrity and by extension, your property value. This includes roof repairs and maintenance for residential, commercial, and industrial properties. Our roof restoration solution saves you up to 70% the cost of replacing your roof. Contact Plus World Roofing today. Plus World Roofing. Why re-roof when you can restore?
The Association of Professional Women Builders of Nigeria, a female wing of the Nigerian Institute of Building, held its inaugural Female Artisan Workshop on the 20th of June 2019, and this is towards producing quality female artisans to help the construction industry. Let's take a look.
In a bid to produce quality artisans for the construction industry, the Association of Professional Women Builders of Nigeria, APWN, a female wing of the Nigerian Institute of Building, held its inaugural Female Artisan Workshop in Abuja on the 20th of June 2019. The workshop, which was also an avenue to raise funds for the body secretariat, set out to empower female artisans. Speaking at the event, the president of the association, Builder Adama Lami Kawu, says the aim is to have quality female artisans to help manage the construction sites.
What I hope to achieve from this event today is, as from today onwards, we will stop the importation of artisans.
She believes soon enough Nigeria would begin exporting artisans.
In fact, God willing, maybe henceforth, maybe in the next 2-3 years, other countries will come to export from us.
For her part, the first female builder in Nigeria and the chairman College of Fellows of the Nigerian Institute of Building, Builder Bola Araba, says identifying the women and keying them into artisanship in Nigeria is a good step in the right direction.
I'm so happy that the Association of Professional Women Builders have keyed into this process of identifying the women and keying them into artisanship in Nigeria.
The president, Nigerian Institute of Building, Builder Kenneth Nabwife, says women need to be empowered in entrepreneurial skills, especially in Nigeria.
These women, we owe the nation the responsibility to empower these women in entrepreneurial skills, to train them to be on their own.
For this stakeholder, he believes due to the dearth of competent artisans in the construction industry, there is need to take steps in creating competent artisans.
Launching an organization for female artisans who can go into confines where male artisans will not be normally expected to go into.
For these artisans, they express their joy towards being a part of the training to enable them enhance their skills and do better in their fields.
I feel happy because it creates awareness that women are in the construction sector.
We thank people that provide this program for us.
It is believed that if artisans are trained to have the right skills, construction problems like poor quality delivery, poor workmanship, and incidences of building collapse will be reduced, and women, if properly equipped, would do a good job of ensuring this in construction sites.
The 13th edition of the Abuja International Housing Show is drawing close. The show, which is the largest housing and construction show in Africa, promises to host a lot of key stakeholders in the sector. Some of the guest speakers expected at the event will include is set for Africa's biggest housing and construction event, the Abuja International Housing Show. The show, slated for 23rd to 26th July at International Conference Center, Abuja, will host over 40,000 participants from Nigeria and at least 15 countries. For hundreds of product exhibitors that will participate in the Abuja International Housing Show, there will be countless benefits like the opportunity to introduce new products to the housing and construction industry market and meet exciting buyers with purchasing power. The Abuja International Housing Show usually hosts many stands owned by several organizations and brands seeking to introduce their new products and ideas to prospective buyers, clients, and investors. The registration platform provides opportunity slots for such brands to book in advance and reap the benefits that come with partnering with the largest housing show in Africa. Let's take a look at what to expect. Welcome back. The program is still Housing Development. Now, for your dreams of home ownership to become a reality, Urban Shelter Limited is the answer. Let's watch this.
Urban Shelter is actually a property development company. We are into real estate, to be precise. And this is the business that we have been doing for over 2 decades now, going to 3 decades. We are into development of property and selling it to the general public, and also trying to assist the country in which we find ourselves in bridging the gap in housing deficit in Nigeria. At a time when the organization took that decision to say we want to go into a project called Brick City, it was like the location was just like a bush. But today, if you go to that location, you will notice that it has been developed into a full-fledged city with over 2,000 housing units, as far running in different clusters and phases. We've done phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, where there are even still ongoing projects as far as that place is concerned. If you also go to locations like Katampe, where we have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. At the time when we got there was practically no development there. We actually brought development into Katampe. So part of our own, strategy and proposition is to ensure that each locations we go to, we, provide necessary infrastructures like the road, the water, the light, and what have you, without necessarily having to wait for government to make those provisions. There is no project of ours without, infrastructures. Road is very important. Provision of water is also very important. You also talk about lighting is also very important. Then, to a very large extent, we give attention to details. Well, our payment plan is very, very flexible. We also recognize the fact that fingers are not equal. So we have provisions for instrumental payments. And of recent, when we also discovered that we have a number of clients looking for longer period, we came up with a scheme that we call 5-year payment plan. And that scheme is such that once you complete payment, even after year 2, you can actually move in and take possession of your house while you complete the balance of your payment while you are already living inside the house.
You can get a house at Urban Shelter Limited by calling the numbers displayed on your TV screen.
Are you a member of a cooperative and you've been trying to have home ownership? This is good news for you and all cooperative societies. The 13th Abuja International Housing Show will focus on alternative funding for finance home ownership for cooperative societies. It is a place you must all be for synergy and construction finance. We are set to unlock the difficulties you've been facing in actualizing housing dreams for your members in any part of the country. Mark your calendar and plan to return from 23rd to 26th of July 2019 at ICC Abuja. You can't miss out on this one. For more, you can visit www.ihs2019.org or call 0816 657 0090.
For want of time, that's where we end the show today. Don't forget to visit www.ihs2019.org to register for the Abuja International Housing Show. You can also follow our social media pages on Facebook and Twitter on a housing program. I'll see you next time.